Alright, what's going on everyone? It is Super here and I'm bringing you guys another Mortal Kombat X character tutorial video, and today we have Reptile. Reptile is one of the most popular characters that, pretty much people use, maybe not so much online, but it's the most requested character a lot of times that people want to see because Reptile is a classic character. He's really cool and his gameplay is really fun in Mortal Kombat X. So let me get started here talking about some of the stuff that actually makes Reptile a pretty fucking good character. So number one is, let's start off with his normals. His down 3, 7 frames, so it's really good. 7 frame low, and it's only -3 on block. So when you take this into online, you guys a lot of times see a lot of people trying to do this, right? This doesn't really work, but if you do it online and your opponent's not ready and they block one of these, if they're not ready to counter poke, then they are going to get hit by another one. You know what I mean? Because it is 7 frames and it's only -3. So, the down 3 is very good. Reptile's down 1 is 9 frames. It is +16 on hit. So it's pretty good. It's only -4. So, if you do get a chance to poke and you do want to poke, definitely do it with down 3. But if you're from this range, down 3 is not really going to work. Actually, yeah, it does have a pretty good amount of range, right? Alright, so that is pretty much the max range of down 1, and down 3 is pretty much identical. So, if you want to counter poke, definitely counter poke with down 3. I was just showing you guys, the difference there. Not too much as far as range, so yeah, plus 13 on hit if you connect it down 3, so you could probably get a forward 4, and I'll talk about that in a bit. But let's see, his standing jab is 10 frames and it is +2, so you could use it as sort of like a little frame trap, whenever someone's blocking. A lot of times, a lot of people, including myself, like to do a standing 1 or standing 1-1 because they're you're +2. So if your opponent tries to do something and you throw out a mid, or you throw out a move that is faster than what your opponent's throwing now, with the added +2 that you get, then you're gonna catch them and it could go into a full combo. So you can't stagger it, like standing 1 into maybe forward 4 and stuff, because let's go into it now, shall we? Oh, actually, yeah, let's go into forward 4. Forward 4 is, like the best thing as far as Reptile has offensively, to start combos, because it is a mid and it is 9 frames. So it's really good, and it leads into a safe block string, and I'll show you guys that. As you guys see, it has a good amount of range. It doesn't have character full range like, like Kotal Comp, but it has a really good range. So let's just say, for example, you do a standing 1, you're +2. That makes your forward 4 7 frames. So if your opponent doesn't throw out a 7 frame or faster move, and in Mortal Kombat X, there's only, I believe the only 5 frame moves are like the EX flip kick from Cassie and Quan Chi's neutral jump punch. And other than that, like, there's a lot of 6 frame moves, 6 frame jabs, and 6 frame standing 1s. 7 frames, there is a good amount as well. But if your opponent doesn't have one and you do this and then you hit them with that, you hit them with this, I should say, on block, that leaves you +2, and your forward 4 is 9 frames. So add that +2, it makes it a 7 frame forward 4, which is a mid, and it's going to beat out a lot of things that are not 7 frames, including pokes. So that's really nice to have for Reptile. The 9 frame mid, not many characters in the game have a 9 frame mid that is pretty forward advancing here. As you guys see, it has a good amount of range. It's not really forward advancing, but it has a good amount of range. It covers a lot of ground, and it leads into a safe combo that, if on block, you could end it with a slash that I'll talk about in a bit, but it pretty much makes it completely safe. So his forward 4 is great, man. It leads to this combo right here. Just do a simple one for you guys. 27%, basic as fuck. And 27% is nothing to laugh at. You know what I mean? For a standing 4, you get 30%, really good, meterless, which Reptile never got before. After the buffs, they did a really good job of Reptile buffing him to make him, really good. So forward 4 is really good. Another move that is good with Reptile is his 11 frame overhead. It is you do have to be like really close, as you guys see here. But it is 11 frames and it's +1. So that means you could just throw this out with no consequences at all. You know, not even like consequences. You're at an advantage if you throw out an overhead and it gets blocked. So what a lot of people like doing, that's sort of a frame trap. Not really a frame trap. Let's just see. Forward 2. It's not really a frame trap, but it's more of a distance thing. So a lot of people, if this gets blocked, it has a lot of pushback and Reptile goes backwards, and then you do a forward 2, which is, it might be one of the normals with the most amount of range. As you guys see, his forward 2 covers a lot of ground. So a lot of people like to do is, if they get the overhead blocked, they're still gonna keep going with the forward 2, forward 2-1. And then forward 2-1 completely safe, right? Forward 2-1 is completely safe. So, you know, on block, if you go for this and your opponent might not know that you're +1 and he tries to do something, this is a mid, so it's going to beat out low pokes. And of course, you're at, you know, a pretty good amount of range. Like if, let's see, how much of a pushback is it? So you're at this range right here if your opponent blocks a overhead. That means you're at perfect range to hit him with the forward 2, and there's pretty much nothing your opponent could throw out that is going to, you know, cover as much ground as this, unless you're playing maybe a Kotal Khan or someone like that that has really good range buttons. But a lot of times, you know, what you want to do if you block an overhead against a Reptile, you're going to want to block or maybe backdash or something, because more often than not, they're going to throw this out because it does work a lot, because people try to counter poke and they're going to get caught by the forward 2. So, you know, the overhead is really good because obviously it leads to this, you know, it could lead to some pretty good damage as well. So overhead 11 frame and you're +1 on block, really, really good. Of course, I told you guys about the forward 2. It is, you know, it covers so much ground. Look at how much ground it covers. It's a mid, it's 13 frames. And if you do forward 1, it's completely safe on block. And if you get a hit, of course, forward 1, 2, 1+3 is going to lead into this grab that you can meter burn and go into, you know, some pretty good damage. Let's see if you do it raw. 33% if you do it off overhead. 34%. So as you guys see, forward 2 is one of Reptile's, you know, definitely one of his best normals. Just Reptile in general is just a really solid and good character. Definitely would recommend picking him up. If you guys are, you know, sort of hesitating, don't, because Reptile, he's pretty easy to learn. He does get execution heavy in some of his other variations, but, you know, overall he's really fun and really good. So definitely would recommend you guys picking him up. Another move that a lot of people use is back 3 because it's a low. You know, you could go obviously overhead and low, you know, really, really good. And back 3-4 is actually a safe low 16% 3 hitting combo. So this right here, completely safe. I think it might be even on block. Let's see that. Oh, it's -7. All right, so it's safe to 95% of the cast. If you have Kung Lao's EX spin, you know, that might punish it. But again, you know, considering the pushback, there aren't going to be many characters that are going to, let's see. Yeah, there aren't going to be too many characters that are going to punish that. You know, Kung Lao's EX spin is 7 frames. It's going to punish, it punishes pretty much anything that's almost unpunishable in the game. That's how good Kung Lao is. But that's a really good move right there. On hit, it's 16%. On block, it's only -7. You know, just block after it, of course. Or you could do, you know, go crazy and go for EX slash. But one of the best things about this is it low profiles a lot of moves. So let's just use Jax as an example. If you have him in the corner and you want to meet him on wake up and you think he's going to do a EX gotcha grab, that's a high. This is going to go right under that and it's going to punish him. All 3 hits are going to, you know, hit obviously, so he's going to eat that 16% and he's going to waste a bar of meter. So it's always nice to have a low profiling 3-hit move that could break armor. So definitely really, really good. And now I think that's about it. He does have his forward 3, which is another low. Forward 3, what is it? Forward 3, back 4. Forward 3, back 4 is 18% move, and that's completely safe as well. forward 3, back 4. No, that's actually not safe. It's minus 12. But it's always nice to have this if you do want to risk it and don't use a borrowed meter or anything like that. Maybe it's a game closing situation. You've been going for a lot of overheads. You know, you could throw this out. But, you know, if you're going to go for a low, might as well go for this because this is safe. So now let's go into some character-specific stuff. Oh, by the way, yeah, actually, before I go into character-specific stuff, let's talk about some of his special moves here. Of course, you have the Force Ball. These, you can have 2 on screen. You could either do down, back 3 to have it go slow, or down, back, forward 3 to make it go fast. And you can have both of them at the screen or on the screen at the same time. If you throw out 2 slow force balls, the second one is actually going to disappear after one comes out, after the second one comes out, as you guys see. So one thing that they actually did is they made Reptile be able to stop his force ball. So if he press down, down, and right trigger to meter burn the force ball, once it's out, you press down, down, right trigger, and it stays in place. And that could be really, really useful. So let's just say you throw this out. You do that, and you do his, wow, mistimed it. You do his dash. Wow, was I really out of range again? I said you throw out his dash, and you could still combo it. So, you know, it is a nice tool to have for Reptile. You get some combos like that. You know, people aren't going to be expecting it. You know, if you throw out your force ball and someone tries to jump over it, you could slow it down at any time, and your opponent could land on it, and that's another, like, I don't know, off that you could probably get like 25% if he jumps into it and then into your 2-1 into your slide. So you get some pretty good damage there. Good way to trick your opponent. Let's see, what else am I forgetting? Of course, you can meter burn your slow and fast force balls. As you guys see, look how slow it is. You could actually follow this, and if it doesn't like connect on block or on hit, it goes all the way full screen. So, you know, you could drag your opponent all the way, and if it's like slowly trailing, it's still gonna catch up. It's still gonna show up on screen, and in vice versa with you know, if it's off screen and you guys are like going forward, it's still gonna be there. It's just gonna go slowly until it, you know, goes out of the map. Same thing with the fast one. That one's pretty fast. You could actually you know, do a lot of combos with it. The fast one I don't use that much. Like the slow one's really good because look at this, you get a free approach. You know what I mean? And it's trailing. It's still coming. So, you know, you could do a lot of things that, you know, might be a little bit more risky because you know you have the force ball coming, and if your opponent gets you in a combo, same thing with like the Tremor Rocks is gonna hit him and it's gonna knock you out of his combo. So really good. That's why I like using the slow force ball a lot as well. You know, you get a free approach, and if it hits them, you know, you get a free 27%. So one more move that I want to talk about, and this one is really important because it's the meter burn slash. This is a mid. It looks like an overhead, but it's not. It is a mid. This is one of the best anti-airs in the game, in my opinion. It's really good. If someone jumps at you, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be Kung Lao's jump in too. This is still going to beat it, obviously, because it could absorb a hit of armor. And not only that, but it sends them launching. You know, you could end up getting 28% off an anti-air. Really, really good, man. I could only think of a few other moves that are as good as this move right here. It is a little bit slower, but like I said, as an anti-air, it's really good. On Wake Up, of course, this can get beat, even though it's not. It's kind of weird. It's not the fastest. Like whenever I use it, there aren't too many characters that are going to armor break it. Or when I play with Reptile, there aren't too many people that armor break this. And, you know, they get caught by it and it leads into a full combo. So there are characters that can armor break it, like Kung Lao's 1-1 can armor break it. Obviously, Liu Kang is a king of armor breaking. Melina is a queen of armor breaking. You know, there's characters that could do it. But this is a reliable Wake Up. You know, you just have to pick your spots in when you want to use it because it is punishable on block. Of course, you could go back 3 into your EX move. As you guys see, that combos, and that leads into 29%. Not bad at all. Of course, if you condition your opponent to block high because of the overhead, throw one of these in, and he's not gonna know what the fuck to do later. And then of course, if you grab, it adds another dimension there. So one more thing, the EX slash is punishable on block, but the regular one is actually completely safe. And let's set Reptile on reversal here. Always, there are moves that could punish it, of course. Like, there's always moves that are gonna punish it. Let's go with the EX dash here. Okay, this one. As you guys see there, the dash is pretty fast. And this is a true block string. That means they cannot armor in between any of this. They have to eat all this chip. And look at all the chip that it does. It does pretty good amount of chip. And especially in Noxious, because you do extra damage because of your stink around Reptile. This is a really good tool to have. Of course, you don't want to do this against Kung Lao or maybe even Cassie, because they could punish it. But pretty much almost every single person in the cast, end your string in this. And like I said before, forward 4 is a 9-frame mid. So if you connect this on block, just go into the full string. Forward 4, 1, 2 into regular slash, and it's only -6 or -7. One of those two. Let's check it out. Down back 2, down back 2. Where are you? Down back 2. It's only -6, as you guys see. So it's really, really good because it's a true block string. That means they cannot armor through it or anything. They have to take all this. So that's one of the big things that they gave Reptile that actually made him a lot better. They made his regular slash not punishable and his EX slash like really, really punishable. So that's a good trade-off right there. All right, so now that we got the basics down, let's go into some character specific things, and I'll get Noxious out of the way real quick because there's not too much to this specific variation other than the stink around him. As you guys see, I'm close to Reptile and he's doing 0.2% damage, and that might not be a lot, but when it gets to game ending situations and your opponent is doing a combo on you and stuff, this could be a big difference because it could kill. The stink on Reptile, it could definitely kill like the EX Caltrops, like the Kodokan Sunray. This kills. And there's been many situations where people have gotten me in combos, and I've gotten people who are using Reptile in combos, and either that person kills me because I'm playing against Reptile, or the person who's playing against me dies because I'm using the stinky Reptile. So this is really good. As you guys see, I'm standing next to Reptile for, I don't know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and look at all the damage it's doing. And this could be very, very useful. And if you meter burn it, it turns into 0.5, and that's a huge, actually not 0.5, it turns into 1% damage. This is fucking huge. And especially if you could actually combo into the stink. The only combo that you can do into the stink is standing 3-4, and you're not gonna get this a lot because it is a high into mid, and of course you can neutral duck hides, you could poke out of them, but let me just demonstrate here. As you guys see, all that comboed, 33%, simple combo, actually shortened it. You can meter burn it as well. It does take a little bit of practice to get the timing down. It's kind of weird timing. As you guys see, 40% comboing into the meter burn stink, and it's still doing 1%. It lasts for a pretty good amount of time. So that's pretty much it with the stinky variation. This is what this variation is all about. You could get some crazy setups in the corner if you do like the EX spit. EX spit right there does 1%, and if you are able to activate this, look at how much damage you're doing. Even on block, they're going to be taking 1% damage. So, this is pretty much the stinky Reptile. You could get a lot of extra damage if you actually are able to, connect this, or, you just activate this on neutral in the corner. Here, let's just use this as an example on knockdown. Similar to how I'm going to show you guys to do some setups for Nimble that are really good. If you do like a slide and you activate this, you're free to do 1% damage on your opponent no matter what, because you are going to be this close. You're going to be this close to your opponent. You go for low, you could go for overhead, and all that time this thing is going to be activated. So that's what Noxious Reptile is all about, just the stink. So that's pretty straightforward. You guys could, find out some setups for yourselves on it. Now let's go to Deceptive and Nimble. And this is where things get interesting in my book. I really don't use Noxious because it is straightforward, but Nimble and Deceptive are where it's at for me. So let's start off with Deceptive because I think it's probably his best variation here. So Deceptive, you have the invisibility. That's the whole thing with this variation. It's down, down 3. As you guys see here, that's a regular one. And you just turn invisible, like a little bit invisible. You can still see the outline of your body. But if you go down, down EX, down, down 3, and right trigger to meter burn it, it's actually really fast and you're completely invisible. And you could even still meter burn it again to turn invisible again while you're still invisible. So let me demonstrate you guys right here. So I'm invisible. It lasts for around maybe 7 seconds. I'm gonna do it again right now. As you guys see, I'm still invisible. Do it again. You could just stay invisible as long as you have the meter to burn. So that's really cool. And of course you could combo. Oh my god, I actually forgot about this. That's one of his best combos I forgot to talk about, so might as well talk about it here. A lot of people get caught by this. This is back 1, down 4, and then you go with the fast force ball, and all this combos surprisingly, which it does not look like it combos, but it does. So this is a nice tool to have for you reptile guys. It goes into a high to a low, and it's like so many people get caught by it. I guarantee that you'll catch, if you do this in a game, you'll catch someone at least once, every single game you do it. Because, I don't know, like, you just don't expect to block low after this, you know what I mean? Like, even, that the move is coming, you just don't expect it. And, it catches a lot of people. So, let's go back to Deceptive here. So, you could go forward 4-1, EX invisibility, and you could still combo. Yeah, you could actually do it really, really fast. As you guys see, all this comboed. Let's do the easier one. All this comboed here. So 33%, and you're still invisible. So you could run up, do another mix-up, and your opponent is not going to know where the fuck you're coming from because you're fully invisible. One other cool thing about the invisibility is the first hit that people hit you out of your invisibility, you're not going to take any damage. So let me demonstrate this for you guys. I actually did not know about this until, well, not recently. Like, I knew about it before, but when I first picked this up, I did not know about it. Let's record me doing this. All right. So look at the health bar for the Deceptive. Look at the health bar for Deceptive. I did a down 2, and he took 0 damage. So the first hit that your opponent deals you out of the invisibility, you take 0 damage. That is very good. It's crazy good, because you could be as aggressive as you want, because the first hit in someone's combo, or if they down 2, is not going to affect you in any way. So that's really, really good to have in this variation. So keep that in mind whenever you guys are using Deceptive. And now let's go back to, all right, so you guys know the EX invisibility is so fast you could combo into anything. Forward 2 combos, back 3 combos, any string that you do combos. So pretty self-explanatory there, but one of the best things is the forward 4-1-2 string into the invisibility. EX invisibility actually leaves you really plus on blocks. So that means you get a free jump over to the other side, and that means your opponent has to guess completely on which way you're gonna go, overhead or low, and he can't even see it. You know what I mean? So on block, the EX invisibility, pretty much like any string into EX invisibility is plus. It just depends on what string you do that's going to make it more plus on block. So if you do this, you're going to get a free jump over into a free 50-50, or if you, it's not really free, like your opponent could be mashing, you know what I mean? And if he has a fast down poke, it might be able to do something. Of course, you could always, they could always EX it, so I guess nothing is like really free. But you do get a free down 3 if your opponent tries to mash out a down poke. So your down 3 is going to beat anything your opponent does. It doesn't matter if it's Kotal Khan with a 6 frame down 1. It doesn't matter because you're plus. So this 7 frame, it turns into like a 4 frame down 3. So if you are in this situation and you get your opponent on block and you want to get a free, pretty much mix up, you do that. And then you jump over as soon as you turn invisible. And you go for your overhead or your low, and your opponent has to take it. And of course, if he starts down poking, mashing down poke, you could go free down 3, and if he doesn't block it, obviously it leaves you plus 13 on block. Plus 13 on hit. You go for another mix-up. So that is what makes Deceptive really good. The EX invisibility, really, really good. It is meter dependent because you do have to meter burn the invisibility for it to be good, but it's worth it because it's really, really good. And of course he still has the overhead slash, his anti-air. So I would probably say Deceptive is his best variation in my opinion. So let's move on here to Nimble. And Nimble is like the most hype variation because you get this right here, the slowdown. So you're fast, as you guys see. Reptile's like extra fast, and your opponent is slowed down. Your opponent is really, really slowed down. Everything goes in like slow motion for him, while everything goes a little bit faster for you. And that leads into a lot of situations in the corner where you could do really good. Like in the neutral, let's just say it Sub-Zero throws an ice ball. You could go into this real quick, and you could punish him with the slide. And of course, you could carry on almost to, if you do the slides while you're in the slowdown, you could actually go from one corner of the screen to the other on some maps. This one might be a little bit too big for that, but on like Cove, you're gonna go, pretty much corner to corner with one of these, which is crazy. So this could be used in a neutral if you're trying to, maybe counter zone. If you predict your opponent's gonna throw a fireball, do this and you go under it, and you go into the slide here. So the corner is where it really gets interesting. If you guys want to know more about like the Nimble variation, I made a specific highlight video where I played online rank matches with Nimble. If you guys want to check that out, make sure you guys do so. But just real quick, the best thing to combo into the Nimble slowdown in mid screen is forward 4-1-2 into EX into slide, and that works really well. So that's your best bet in the center of the map. Now let's go to the corner where things get really, really fun and really interesting. So let's just say, for example, you knock your opponent down with a slide. Like you do a full 30% combo into slide. What you're gonna want to do is, as soon as you knock him down, you activate your meter burn slowdown. So you knock him down and you still have advantage because he's still getting up. Slide is a hard knockdown, I believe. So you activate this, and that gives you a free overhead or low if your opponent does not do a meter burn move. So you go for this, or you could go for this, and you could get plenty of damage with that. And let me see if I can show you. I have not played with Nimble in a while, so let's just see. Ah, fuck. He went to the other side. Okay. All right, there you go. As you guys see, 50% combo with 1 bar after an initial combo. So let's just say you do this. I'll do a quick one. If you do that, that's, let's just say if the slide connects, that's 28% into, this. And this is 50%. Oh, I still caught him. 50%, 28% on the other one. That is a lot of damage. So 2 touches, and that's 80% of his life pretty much gone. So, that's what you get for the overhead. And for the low, you could go for this. Oh, gotta work on the timing, that's for sure. Just go to training mode, work on the timing a little bit. You could do that one too. Both the same. I like doing standing 4. All right, here we go. Oh my god, he's flying over me. All right, there you go. So off the low, you're gonna get 43%, which is really, really good. And off, let's just say, you could also do this off your forward 4 comma. So forward 1-4. Knocked them off it. This one is actually pretty hard timing. Do have to practice this one. All right, see, as you guys see right there, if you do it too early, your spit is gonna go under him, and if you do it too late, he's gonna lose too much gravity, and then you're not gonna be able to get the uppercut into the forward 4 string. So this timing is actually, you know, pretty strict, and you do have to work on this one, you know, a lot more than the others. Oh, come on, Nimble. Why are you so complicated? Not really complicated, but it does take some fucking timing. Alright, if I don't get it in the next few, then I'll just, you guys get the gist of it. Oh, was gonna do it too early there. Oh, come on. Alright, forget it, guys. Whenever I do videos, I choke on combos for some reason. Alright, try a couple more times. Oh, almost had it. So that was 44% right there. With the slide, it would have been 47%. So that's the most damage you could get off like a combo into the Nimble slowdown. And I apologize that I was not able to get this, but I have not played with this variation in a bit. As you guys see, if you do it too late, it loses the gravity, and it's really hard to combo into it if you lose the gravity. But this pretty much, you know, covers Nimble. So I'm gonna try this a couple more times, then end the video, because you know the tutorial is pretty much over. You know, you guys could go in and try out your own. Yeah, I'm not getting it right now. This needs practice, boys. This one actually does require, fuck, I forgot how hard this one is to connect. Yeah, this one takes a bunch of practice, and I haven't played with Nimble in a bit. Here's the abridged version for you guys. Oh, get it! I keep doing it too slow. I'm like obsessed with doing this now. Yeah, I'm doing it way too slow, but you guys get the point. You guys go out and practice it. Tell me how fucking hard it is. Online, it becomes even harder. So if you can't really get it in practice mode, like I can't get it right now, the easier ones are just to, you know, do a simple reptile. I can't even do a simple reptile combo now. A simple reptile combo into knockdown, and then you activate your slowdown, and then you let your opponent guess between overhead and low, and that leads into a 50 and 43% combo. So that's what I would do with Nimble Reptile. And like I said, I do have a highlight video if you guys want to check that out, but that's gonna be it. I'm gonna try this 2 more times, and if I don't do it, then the video is gonna be over. All right, that's 1. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Oh my god, I really want to get this. Why am I... First I was doing it too late, now I'm doing it too early. Oh, again. All right, that's it. I'm gonna get pissed off. 44%. You know, with combos like this, it takes time, you know, because this is pretty strict timing. So make sure you guys go out there, go into practice mode, and practice all these combos with Nimble, because they look hype as fuck. So that's going to be it for the Reptile tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time.